love which surrounds us and fills our heart. We gather today in the presence of life to look with favor on this woman, Katie, and this man, Matt. We are honored to be a witness to their faith, their love, and blessed to support the vows and promises they make here before us today. Amen. Family members and friends of Katie and Matt, we welcome you and thank you for being here on this beautiful day. We are gathered together to celebrate the very special love between these two by joining them in marriage. As we begin our celebration today, Katie and Matt would like to acknowledge the loving memory of family and friends who have passed. While these loved ones are dearly missed, we know their love is with Katie and Matt today and always, and how happy they would have been to be witnessing this marriage. Katie and Matt would like to thank each of you here joining in the celebration today. Each of you have played an important part in their lives, whether it's individually or through them as a couple. Katie and Matt give thanks and blessings to each and every one of you for forming the very fabric of their lives. Your presence here today is the best gift of all for them. All of us need and desire to be loved, and the highest form of love between two people is within a committed relationship. The fun part, where Katie and Matt got started. So let's talk a little bit about that. All right, so Katie and Matt have known each other for a while because Jake and Matt were really good friends and since high school and worked at Silver Stack Farm together. Matt would come out with the group. They always talked and hung out. Matt confessed he always had an eye out for Katie, that she was sweet, intelligent, beautiful, and has one of the most caring hearts he has ever encountered. He was just waiting for the right opportunity. Fast forward to a canoe trip for Jake's birthday, when Matt offered to be Katie's partner. They both believe that's the day they fell in love. Katie said she knows it sounds crazy, but she was taken aback by just how kind, helpful, and sweet Matt is. She goes on to say how funny, god-awful honest, and a brilliant man that he's become. Katie and Matt began dating 2 weeks after that, August 30th, 2018. She was specific on there. I'll spare the more intimate details and skip forward to December 9th, 2019, when Matt proposed at the airplane, where they took their first picture together on the canoe trip. Katie and Matt believe it was just fate that brought them together. I would say it's much more than fate. Anybody who doesn't want to kill their partner after canoeing are meant to be together and standing here today. Which brings us today in front of their loved ones to get legally and spiritually bonded for life. Katie and Matt, your marriage today is the public and legal joining of your souls, and they have already been united as one in your hearts. Marriage allows you the opportunity to share your lives, standing together, facing life and the world hand in hand. Marriage is going to expand you as individuals, define you as a couple, and deepen your love for one another. To care for your marriage, you will need to maintain your very deep and abiding friendship. You will need strength, your courage, your patience, and your humor to allow your marriage to be a time of waking each morning and falling in love over and over again. In a few moments, you will speak the vows you have chosen for each other. When you speak those vows from the heart, something magical occurs. A transformation takes place. You will transform into a family, a new one for everyone to see. Family means that you literally become part of each other. You carry each other deep inside wherever you may go, no matter what life may bring, whether it's wonderful sound of laughter, the anguish of tears. You got me going. Whether life brings abundance of hardship, sickness, or health, now you walk this walk called life, committed as husband and wife eternally. This is the essence of marriage. Its beauty, its power. It is upon the strength of this foundation, this new family, and you shall build the temple of the rest of your lives. Its beauty, its significance, is completely up to you. You are the architects of your marriage. Let it be magnificent to behold. Let all who come into your home benefit from the warmth and its radiance. Let it be as a beacon of light aspiring for others to love. Katie and Matt, let your arms be a safe haven, a refuge for each of you to come home, a place where you feel renewed, refreshed each and every day. Enjoy each other. Laugh much. Cherish your time together, for life is a gift. Be slow to anger, quick to forgive. Use kind and gentle words. And when the inevitable storm comes in life, it is then that you're called upon to hold each other even closer. Katie and Matt, your relationship at the forefront of your lives, dedicate yourself to it. Remember, as long as you have this, you have everything. Youth fades, money comes and goes, but your love is irreplaceable. Love is eternal. The union of Katie and Matt brings together two family traditions, two systems of roots, in the hope that a new family tree may become strong. Theirs is a personal choice and decision for which they are responsible, yet their lives will be enriched by the support of all of you, their families from each they have come. Who presents this woman to be married here today? You gotta stand up, there we go, gotcha. Thank you. So right now, let's bring up Matt's friend, Matt's mentor, Carlene, for our first reading from beginning to end. Right on, you're good right there. Let's roll with it.
Good evening. From beginning to end, you've known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and arrangements in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held riding in cars, over a meal, running for walks, running and walking. Where was I? Okay, running and walking. All those sentences began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, you will, we will. Those late night talks that include someday, somehow, and maybe, all those promises that are spoken, matters of the heart. All of these common things and more are real processes of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, I love you, okay? And you better mean it. Okay, you know those things we've promised, hoped, and dreamed? Well, you meant that too. Every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to each other. Acquaintances, friends, companions, lovers, dance partners, and even teachers. For you have learned much from one another these last few years. Now you shall say a few words that make you cross the threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same for you. After these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife.
Thank you, Carlene.
Thank
And
you.
for our second reading is Katie's Uncle Jerry, reading The Art of Marriage.
In marriage, the little things are the big things. It's never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say I love you at least once a day. It's never going to sleep angry. It's at no time taking the other for granted. Courtship should not end, the honeymoon continue throughout the years. It's speaking words of appreciation and